Hi, welcome to episode 2 of Wino TV, brought to you by Applewood Winery of Warwick, New York. And this is Danielle Rudy. I'm Michelle Hull, co-owner of Applewood Winery with my husband Jonathan. And Danielle is one of our most valued employees who's been with us for now,
it's going to be my third season.
Her third season with us. Time seems to just fly by.
And she's the assistant winemaker.
And she is the assistant winemaker. Yep. Her main area is helping the winemaker bring you all these wonderful wines. And she helps us out in the tasting room on numerous occasions as well. So, a multitasker.
There you go.
And today we're here to talk about one of Danielle's favorite wines, which is the Applewood Winery Ruby's Kiss. Ruby's Kiss is a dessert wine, and it sells for $11.99 a bottle. It's made from
Concord grape, 100%.
100% Concord grapes. And we'll give you just a brief little history about the Ruby's Kiss. My husband and I had taken a trip up to the Finger Lakes in the very beginning stages of our winery, which is now in its, will be going into its 14th year. And we went up to the Finger Lakes and we visited a winery called Hazlitt. And they have this fabulous red dessert wine called Red Cat Red, which they said was best enjoyed in a hot tub under the moonlight. And we just thought it was really cool and funky, and it was a great sweet wine. So we have many people coming to our winery during apple picking season, as we're Pick Your Own Orchard as well, and they were consistently asking for a sweeter wine. At that time we had no sweet wine. Okay. We had drier wines primarily. So I said to Jonathan, I think if we made a really sweet red dessert wine like the Red Cat Red, it would sell like hotcakes. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'd give it a shot, and the first year that we brought it out, we had enough for about 200 bottles, and guess what?
What happened?
It sold out like that.
Oh,
it sold out
gosh.
in 2 weekends. And it was the funniest thing. We had 2 women kind of fighting over the last bottle.
Oh.
And the last bottle was in a little gift basket display. And it's like, I want that. Give me that. So, needless to say, someone went home happy. And, well, we had to promise someone as soon as we made more, she would be the first customer. We'd give her a call. And the rest is history. It's still, we now have many other dessert wines. We do blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, and a number of other apple dessert wines, as well as the Chardonnays, Merlots, but that's another show. So, but Ruby's Kiss is still one of our most popular dessert wines. And this was the first wine that you really started to drink when you came to us.
Yes, I wasn't really a wine drinker, but when I started working here, for some reason, because I'm a sweet drinker anyway, everybody was like, "Oh, just try this, just try this. If you're a really sweet drinker, you're gonna love this." So I tried it, and I was hooked on it, like in an instant.
And what was it about the wine?
I think because it's very sweet. If you're a very sweet drinker, this is the wine for you. Absolutely, absolutely.
Would you say that it's just for dessert? Or?
I wouldn't say it's just for dessert. You can use it amongst some cheeses, mainly sharp cheeses, maybe with a little fruit.
And
things
that's
like
because,
that.
right, the flavor of the wine is so...
it's a very, like I said, it's very sweet. It's almost like, if you like Welch's grape juice, like I say this when I'm working the register, somebody will come in and say, "Oh, well, I'm looking for a sweet wine." Well, if you're that sweet of a drinker, then this is what I push for them, because this is basically what they're going to enjoy.
And when people try it for the first time, even if they're hesitant at first, and we tell them it's 100% Concord grape, and we use this description because it was told to us by so many customers, where it brings them back to their childhood,
right,
when they were visiting their grandma's farm somewhere, and they had
the little
Concord grape bush or
or
whatever. A bush vine.
There you go. A grapevine. There you go.
Right. And they just picked it off the vine, or when you're a kid and you pop it in your mouth, almost like what are those candies that pop in your mouth? the grape will just go squish and the flavor just bursts out, and you get that real intense grape flavor.
Grape flavor, yes, absolutely.
So if you are a fan of that grape flavor. Anyway, I think probably we should try it with some cheese right now. Let's start with that, and then we have a couple of sweeter things to try.
Okay.
So in the interest of time, I'll let you try.
Okay.
We have today a Stilton, and I chose the Stilton in particular. This one is studded with cranberries because it's a sharp cheese, but it's not a super sharp cheese, this particular one. And we thought it would go best with something like this.
Yes,
right?
very good, very good. Like you said, it's not really, you really don't have to use it as a dessert wine either. This cheese would be perfect with it.
And would you put this with a milder cheese?
I don't,
Just a simple mild cheddar, or
you
something like
you
that?
could, but I would go more with this one.
Or even a brie, which
or
is
a brie.
something,
Brie would be good as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but something that's kind of in between,
In
not too mild
And not too sharp.
and not too sharp. Exactly. That for this particular wine, the contrast would be too much.
Yes.
And okay, well now let's try it with some cheesecake. Something that is a dessert, actually. And were you just telling us a story that the other night you had some guests over and...
Yes, I did. I had a few family members of ours, and they had never tried the Ruby's Kiss at all. And
I'll just have a little sip while she's talking.
one particular friend of ours had brought a cheesecake, not expecting to have it, and I just happened to have a bottle of Ruby's Kiss at home. And I brought that out, and I brought the cheesecake out, and I mean, everybody they just raved about it. They thought it was absolutely the best thing that glass of wine they've ever had.
And because the cheesecake was kind of like
it was very creamy, very light, and with the Ruby's Kiss, it just brought that out, the flavor of it out more.
And certainly you could use it with a cheesecake that had a fruit topping or a chocolate cheesecake, of course.
Absolutely.
Or anything like that. The cheesecake is nice and light and fluffy, and again, not too overpowering for the wine. What you really want to try to achieve is a good balance between the food and the wine. You don't want the food to overpower the wine, or vice versa. You kind of want to make it blend so that one brings out the best in the other. And now the final thing I have for us to try with it today is a little piece of chocolate. Well, here's a piece for you.
Well, thank you.
And take a bite and a sip, and then you can tell us why you think that goes well together. Anything chocolate, really. This is just a simple dark chocolate bar, but of course chocolate truffles or chocolate fondue or anything along that line.
Very smooth. It's very smooth. Brings the wine out more.
And the chocolate itself is a dark chocolate, so it's got that little bit of bitterness to it, which again is a nice contrast. The bite of the dark chocolate is almost like the same kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Like analogy to a sharper cheese.
Sharper cheese.
It's chocolate with a little bit of a bite to it. A very, very sweet milk chocolate I don't think would taste as good.
No, I think the dark chocolate is the way to go.
It's, really brings out that really full grape flavor. And again, we do a lot of different dessert wines. In one of our future episodes, we'll be talking about recipes and other ways to use dessert wines.
Oh, very good.
Dessert wines are just not for dessert.
Right.
But we'll save that for the next episode. So you'll have reason to come back for another episode of Wino TV. And thank you so much for listening. And you can find us at applewoodwinery.com. And we hope to see you soon in our tasting room.
It was very nice, Michelle. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. We like nothing more than eating and drinking together.
There you go. That's the way to be.